All right, guys, we got a good one to start off with today. Of course, we're going to look at the balance. It appears to be pretty good. I think 130, maybe $140,000 day. Started off a little risk off, got a lot better. Lots of upgrades with Tesla. That's always good. We don't hate that. I'm not going to focus on this right now, though. Tomorrow morning. So tonight we have the debate. 7 o'clock Central Time, or at least my beginning video. And for an hour, I'll talk. I'll show polling data. I'll give a lot of value, hopefully, to people that haven't been following what's going on with the election. And then at 8 o'clock Central Time, the president and current VP will be debating each other, and it should be a fun time. So check that out. Tomorrow, though, after the market open, every day I'm going to do a market open. I'm going to do probably a special video during the day. I'm going to do a market wrap up. And then also I might do anything political will be in the afternoon. And then on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, we'll end up having our weekly miners comparison video. But we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. But fuck all that. None of that matters right now. Bitcoin's up to 58,000, up 1.7% on the day. Tesla's up 4.5% to 226. Sorry to all the bears. CleanSpark is up 6% today. MicroStrategy's up 4%. The VIX is down. Oil getting absolutely crushed. Loving that. Hood up 0.1%. And Palantir up 0.5%. ArcG up 2%. Cypher up 5.59%, and I think a bunch of others doing really good. Again, I switched over to some bit farms in here, and that's up 3.35%. So it's underperforming Cypher, but I'm still super happy with it. All this stuff is really good, guys. There's a lot of great things happening. PayPal, sideways to down, don't care. But I'm getting really excited. I guess I still have $10,000 in TMF. Huh, who fucking knew? I should probably pay closer attention, but I digress. Because this is what's going to happen now, guys. And I'll get caught up with chat in a second. But this is what we're going to watch tomorrow after the market open. And so I'll publish this video tonight or tomorrow morning. You have to see this. This is a highlight of this hour and 6 minute long conversation. Wait for me, though. You got to be a part of this because I got a lot of good points in regard to this video. So many good things politically, the future, Tesla, SpaceX, and this right here, a discussion about SNL like you've never heard it before. You will be fucking crying before this is over.
There's a way to test this.
Right. We came up with a way.
There's a way to test this.
He's talking about testing whether or not SNL is live or not.
Which is, we don't tell them what's going on. As I walk on and says, this is the script. I'll throw it on the ground. We're going to find out tonight, right now.
If Saturday Night Live.
If Saturday Night Live
This is the script.
Is actually live. And the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to take my cock out.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Look at her face.
This is the greatest pitch ever.
And if you see my cock,
This is the
know
pitch to SNL.
it's true. And if you don't, it's been a lie.
It's been a lie. All these years.
All these years.
Now this is
We're going to bust them right now.
and this we're pitching this
Yeah. So we're pitching this.
on Zoom.
Yeah, we're pitching this on Zoom on like a Monday
It's
after we're
COVID.
we're like kind of hungover from the weekend.
Imagine being somebody who works at SNL, this liberal place in New York City, and this is the pitch you're getting from Elon Musk for his first time on there.
And we're like pitching this
We're
at
in
like
Miami.
noon.
Yeah.
And it's Jason's on and
Mike and you.
yeah and Mike so essentially got like who my friends who I think are sort of quite funny. Jason's quite funny. I think like Jason's the closest thing to Cartman that exists in real life.
What do you guys think of this video so far? It's so good.
We have a joke going that he's Butters and I'm Cartman.
Yeah. So, and then my friend Mike's pretty funny too. So we come in like
Guns blazing.
Guns blazing with like ideas and we didn't realize like actually that's not how it works that's normally like actors and
All right, so we got to go a little bit longer because this story is not done yet.
they just get told what to do and like
Right.
Well, you mean we can't just like do
so-
funny things that we thought of? What?
They're watching this and on the Zoom they're aghast at
Yes, no, there's
Elon's pitch.
Yeah, it's silence. Like so, I'm like, and I was like, is this thing working? Is this?
It's like, are we muted?
Is our mic on?
And they're like, we hear you.
Yeah, and then after a long silence, like Mike just says the word crickets.
And they're not laughing.
And they're not even a chuckle.
Can you imagine being in this room? Honestly.
I'm like, what's going on
And then
here?
Elon explains the punchline,
Yes,
which is
exactly. So there's more
The best part.
to it. Okay.
yes.
That's just the beginning.
So Elon says.
So then I'm like, so I say, like, I'm gonna reach down
Into my pants.
and into my pants, and I stick my hand in my pants, and I'm gonna pull my cock out. And I tell this to the audience, and the audience is gonna be like, what?
Right. And
And then I pull out a baby rooster. You know?
yes.
And it's like, okay, this is kind of
It's not done yet. This just keeps going.
PG. You know, it's like
It's got
that, not that
potential,
bad.
not that
It's like this is my tiny cock, and
Wait till they walk through the dialogue. Look at these people in the audience. They're loving this shit.
it's like, what do you think?
And so then.
And do you think it's a nice cock? I mean, I
Then
like
I
it.
pitch.
Wouldn't this have been so much funnier than the shit that was on SNL? I'm sorry, this would have killed it.
You
I'm
know?
like, and then Kate McKinnon walks out,
Yeah, exactly.
and I'm like, oh no, but you haven't heard half of it. So Kate McKinnon comes out,
Yeah.
and she says, Elon,
But she
I
has a cat.
expected you would have a bigger cock.
Yeah. I was like, I don't mean to disappoint you, Kate, but yeah. But I hope you like it anyway.
And then Kate,
But Kate's got to come out with her cat. Okay.
right.
So
And Kate says,
see where this,
Can you
see where
believe
this
they
is
thought of
going.
this?
And I say, nice. Wow, that's a nice pussy you've got there, Kate. Wow, that's amazing. It looks a little wet. Was it raining outside?
and then Kate
And
says,
do you mind if I stroke your pussy? Is that cool? It's like, oh no, Elon. Actually, can I hold your cock? Of course, Kate. You will.
And
You
then they
definitely hold my
trade.
cock. And then we exchange, and I think just the audio version of this is pretty good.
right.
I'm dying right now. I'm sweating. I'm
You know,
laughing
it's
so
just like, wow, I really like stroking your cock, and I was like,
And then Elon says, I'm really enjoying stroking your pussy.
yes, of course, and yeah, so you know.
They're looking at us like, oh my God, what have we done inviting these lunatics
Don't worry, we will get to the market recap stuff. I'm sorry, I just couldn't pass this up.
on the program?
Yeah, and then they said like, well, it is Mother's Day.
That's a
Mother's
no.
Day. We might not want to go with this.
Yeah.
A lot
one
of
for
moms in the
Mother's-
audience.
But my
I'm like,
doge.
well, that's a good point. Well,
Fair.
it might be a bit uncomfortable for all the moms in the audience. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll.
All right, so I'm stopping it there because there's more to see, and I want to save it for tomorrow, guys. But what a great video. What do you guys think? In chat, do you think Elon gives a fuck what other people think of him? Do you think he honestly gives a fuck anymore? He's done with that. Remember all the people that are like, oh my God, Tesla's destroyed if Elon doesn't stop having opinions. I think we're well beyond that phase, don't you? Anyway, made about 100 grand off of Tesla today. Decent amount off of Mara. It looks like CleanSpark ended up helping out a lot too, and ArcG finally pulling up some numbers. About time, but it was a pretty good day all in all, and I look forward to more of them in the days ahead. I think that's what we're going to be seeing. Again, from an economic standpoint, tomorrow's the big day. We don't need to go into too much of that. It's going to be core inflation, CPI. So that's the big stuff tomorrow. Maybe we see some improvement in mortgage, but I'm not worried about that at all. Let's look at the layoff tracker. I want to get through all the indicators. We'll get through the indices. Then we'll get into the meat of stuff. Again, Tesla had a good day. There's a few other companies that did too, Cisco being one of them. We'll look at that as well. All right, so looking at the layoff tracker, this is focused around tech. I just like to look at this every once in a while so we can get a bead on how things are doing in the tech world. It looks like Phoenix, again, unspecified layoffs I don't care about. Phoenix, Seattle, Amsterdam, Los Angeles. They're like all liberal places, by the way. Bay Area. We haven't seen anything. ChargePoint laid off 250 people. Do you think that's a good sign for all the money that Biden's probably funneling into EV charging stations that isn't going anywhere? Do you think that's a good sign for ChargePoint? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they ended up just following what Elon was doing with the supercharging network, right? They realized now isn't a good time to scale and that they got to follow their lead. It's kind of funny. All right, so let's hop over. CNN Fear and Greed Index. Again, I showed this earlier. We dropped even further. We're at 39. We were at 43 earlier. I can't believe this is fear. If fear is me making six fucking figures, I'll take all the fear you guys have. Let's check the crypto market. We're still sitting at a 33. Shocking. Again, a stock Fear and Greed of 39 and a crypto of 33 when my portfolio is going up. I can't shake a stick at that. We looked at the CME Fed Watch tool earlier in the day. It looks like it's declined a little bit, or I should say improved for the chance of 50 bips. I'll refresh it one more time, but it says single or a 25 bip is 69% probability and a 50 is 31. So those are good numbers. We like to see that. Let's just quickly jump back and take a look at general commodities and see how they're doing too. And then we'll look at the indices. We'll actually probably look at this. Boy, man, commodities. Look at commodities, guys. I've been saying this for a while. Look at the year over year on these. So this is people thinking that Donald Trump is going to be in office. The oil market, everything. If we look at oil real quick, it's just falling out. It's just falling out. And I showed what I believe. I've been really right. I was right here. I was right over here. I was right over here. I was right here. I've been right about these patterns. And I updated this earlier. I need to redraw it because it's really more like this. It's really more like this for a pattern, so I'll just save that real quick. But again, it's kind of turning into, and actually if you draw it on the daily, it's kind of turning into a descending triangle, but over a longer time frame. And I wish, I got to remember to save these things when I do them. I hate replicating work. Drives me mad. No, I guess that's close. That's pretty close. So again, a descending triangle, I think, is what's happening. I think we could slam down and even get as low down here as like $42 a barrel or less. Maybe we even get in the 30s. Can you imagine if that happens for oil? Can you imagine? Let's jump over and look at the stock heat map index. Beautiful day. Tesla up 4.58. Amazon up about half that. Microsoft up about half that. Oracle up 11.4%. That's the big one today. Let's just look into it. NVIDIA up 1.53, looking good. Let's go into Oracle, though. I want to see the news event here and just speak to it super fast. So the big thing was a price target being set. It looks like, let me see, right? Oracle, LSN sees a $100 billion AI boom powered by nuclear energy. It wasn't that. There's more news here. There was actually, I don't know where it is, but there was a price target raised to $175. Wherever that is in the news. So that helped the stock a lot. So Oracle was really doing good. It was up even higher. It hit about 160 today. So this one looks pretty good. And Larry Ellison is a stud. We love people who love Elon Musk, and that is Larry Ellison. And if you love stocks that make you money, you don't hate Oracle either. As you can see here, if we go back on the monthly chart, this company has not been big on disappointment going back to the 80s. It's pretty much said, I love you and you'll love me, except for the dot-com bubble where it fell from 43 to 7. But you know what? That was a pretty normal process during the dot-com bubble. Otherwise, it's been pretty much straight up. It's a beautiful investment, Oracle. Love it. So again, the heat map, though, looking good. What other sectors were we seeing that might have had some pain? Let's just go back. I'm going to close out of this because I don't want to overwrite this. Close out of this. So again, energy and minerals, just like we saw in the commodity section, getting crushed. JP Morgan, there was some feedback out of a banking conference between JP Morgan and Ally. Both of them got smoked. Ally really got smoked. I don't know where it appears in here, but last I checked, it was down down as much as 16%. It was a lot. And this is just them saying that their subprime auto is kind of looking like shit. Are we surprised about that? Are you guys surprised about subprime auto not doing well? I even posted about this. The only thing that I will add is I wish I would have followed the thesis and thought process all the way through, because I would have taken the time to say, okay, if we know the subprime auto sector is getting crushed, which banks get crushed the most? Evidently, it's Ally Financial, which actually is one of my investment accounts. I got to watch Ally. Maybe I need to distribute that stuff. I need to move some dollars over to some different accounts to help from a distribution standpoint, just for security. But JP Morgan, I mean, you'd think that would be a safe one, and they're getting hit too. So kind of for the same reason. If you guys have more to add, throw it out in chat. Excuse me. Anyway, David Parketney, did you buy Bitfarm shares or options? Just shares. Just shares. If you look over here, there's no drop down. When there's no drop down, that means I don't have another type like option. So just shares. And we're up 120 on here, guys. This is great. This is close to this is probably 140, 150 overall for the day. I can't hate that in what was kind of a down market. Let's look at crypto real quick too. Crypto doing good. Bitcoin leading. Love that. Bitcoin dominance probably dropping or going up a little bit more today, which is fine too. That can happen for a while. Nothing bad to say about that. Let's look at the S&P. The S&P had, again, a nice little bounce off of peak volumes here. This was a great place to bounce. I said this a while ago. Outside of these two breaks underneath this yellow line, this we call it a neckline. Outside of two breaks underneath of that, it found support over here. It found support throughout here. I tried to find it, couldn't. But again, found it here, couldn't find it here, found it here, and now we're going higher. And this is going to be a nice break up to the .618. It's a nice, almost cup long handle. It's hard to call it a cup and a handle, but whatever. It's between a cup and a handle and a W bottom. I don't think we have to go lower. Could we go lower to the 5,200 range for the S&P? Maybe. Again, I think the debate is going to be a huge thing tonight. So that's why I encourage you guys to watch it. Because if in the debate we have a blowout for Trump or Kamala, the market's going to go in different directions depending upon which one wins, right? If it's just a wash and nothing really changes, I think the markets can go higher. If Kamala really slugs it out of the park, I think we start going down. That's my take. You guys can quote me on it, and then we can check back tomorrow to see how right I was. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right. I need to update this thing, obviously, because my fib lines aren't lining up, but you can see here where the NASDAQ has gotten a bounce. It's not a bad place for a bounce. It's kind of off the .618. So this is a great place to recover from. And it doesn't, if we recover here, we negate this shoulder, head, shoulder pattern, right? If we can bounce up here and get up higher. And I think we can do that. We already had a steep drop under the 200 moving average. I think the direction is up. I've been saying that and I'm right so far. Russell, again, I think this is going to have a wicked move higher. It's just a matter of it playing out. It was kind of a risk-off market today. That's why it's down 0.83% on the Russell, whereas the NASDAQ was up 0.9 and the S&P was up 0.5. They were kind of playing ball, but again, it was risk-off. People are worried about commodity prices going lower. And Truflation has inflation right now at under 1.5%, and I think they're right. They actually asked me to go on their spaces. I might do that. If you guys think I should do that, maybe I could do a live YouTube video and be on a space at the same time. I don't quite, that should work. I should be able to make that work. I was just trying to think through the technicals, but I think that could be fun. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the chat, please. Dollar. The dollar, again, continuing its bounce. If you look here, if we just move this over, you can see how it's finding stability at the same place it found it over here. Found it fairly quickly over here after dropping through, and I found it here and found it here and found it many times before. Found it over here, and then again it was resistance before that. So it's a very clear line of delineation on the dollar, and I think it's going to go up, like I said here, and then it's going to drop back down and break under the 200 moving average. And quote me on it. Gold, boring as fuck, 31%, something, hasn't went anywhere, 13 years. Oil, we did oil. Move index, bond volatility index. So this thing has ended up flat for the day, but it looks like it's going to break down further. I actually could see something like this for a retest, maybe even all the way down to the 200. This is kind of what I'm thinking right now. And so this is the bond volatility index. If bond volatility is going down, stocks are probably going up. The two-year dropped 2% today, just like I said it was going to, and just like it continues to do. Again, ultimate trip getting into the higher twos. The inversion, did it break higher? It broke higher, but not much more than earlier. Again, I expect it to kind of chop in this range for a while. Maybe even could uninvert again, or it could go up. It just depends on how the Fed and Treasury work together. The Japanese yen, how's the dollar doing against the yen? The dollar is losing strength, or I should say, nope. The dollar is, losing strength against the yen. That's a good thing. We want this. If it goes up here and it starts to get up, if it does something like this, now I don't think it's going this way, but if it started doing something like this and it breaks out, then we've got a problem because then the Japanese carry trade is unwinding. But if it goes down here, like I think it's going to, in the other direction, like I think is more likely, then we know that the Japanese carry trade is just fine. And we just have to keep an eye and make sure that we don't have sovereign debt issues where they're trying to dump our currency. But again, I think the carry trade, Japanese carry trade, is going to be just fine. Let's check out the Chinese yuan against the dollar. So the dollar is outperforming the yuan. Isn't that interesting? I did adjust this here too to reflect ascending triangle. Geez, my brain isn't working. I don't say this stuff enough anymore. Put call ratio, again, it looks like people are dumping their insurance. And I think that could happen again tomorrow. If we get good CPI data tomorrow, guys, again, we got a pretty full day. If we get good inflation data and good CPI data, then I think people are going to be looking at us stimulating the market. And by good data, I mean the inflation rate going down for core and regular, and CPI looking to moderate. If these things happen and we outperform in any way, it's going to be great, and we'll see the market really do well tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that, and I think that's probably what's going to happen. Let's go over to Bitcoin real quick. And again, we'll get to other news-related events in a second. I'm trying to get quicker with the flow here to give you guys a lot of information at once. Hopefully I'm succeeding. Let me know in the chat if I am, or if you've got any complaints. If you got complaints, never mind, I'm not going to say. Anyway, it's okay to have complaints. I'll try and be a nice guy. But again, I think we're looking at a descending broadening wedge that wants to break higher. I think the measured move for this is going to be at least 92,000. It might even break up above that before finding support on the .618. So maybe we take it between 92 and 100,000 before we take a breather, something like what we saw over here around the time of the halving, a little bit before. And then we go for our next leg heading into next year. So I think, could it happen by the end of this year? Bitcoin's insane. So if it wants to, and we get Trump as the president, maybe by the end of the year, we're hitting 150,000. But I think either way, by the end of the year or beginning of next, no matter who gets elected, as long as Kamala doesn't get power over the House and Senate too, I think the market will drive things higher. Because they're going to have to print. We're going to have to print. We'll need executive orders. We'll need the Treasury and Fed to play ball, and that's going to help everything. But again, you guys know how I feel. If Kamala gets in first, we could see a pretty good retrace in markets over the short term until people figure out, oh, hey, the money printer thing is going to work, especially if she doesn't get the House and the Senate. All right, MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy up another 4% today, 3.86%, then down 0.23% in after hours. We love that. Mara continues its illustrious bounce with a 9% move, down 0.31% in after hours. Do you remember what I said, guys, about if we're not falling hard and Bitcoin's falling a greater percentage drop versus the miners, that it's a sign of a bottom and that the miners will go much higher? I thought maybe MicroStrategy would outperform initially, but people are just jumping into the miners right now. I think they're looking at it and they're like down 62 to 67, maybe 70% on some of these. It's a sweet deal. And so people are just people are getting risk on. That's what's happening. People are getting risk on. They're just saying, fuck it. They're saying, fuck it. If I can get to 200% on Mara between now and the end of the year, I don't hate life. That's what they're saying right now. And that's like with a $92,000 move. If it goes up to 150, we're past 92 on Mara, in my opinion. Not a bad place to be, don't you think? CleanSpark is up 5.89%, so it didn't even do as good as Mara. Again, I think people are going, I think MicroStrategy, when you think about it though, MicroStrategy is doing what it's supposed to, right? Let me just be clear here. Let me go back. So MicroStrategy is right here, up 3.86%. That's probably about right? It's about 2x right now, the market. And it had a good bounce yesterday, too. So it's not doing bad at all. It'll do about 2 to 3x, like I said, a multiplier. So it's at the low end of that today, but that's acceptable. And again, I think the measured move for this one is also around the right up here by the .618, around 536. That would not be a bad move. 337% higher than we are today, with the ability to go up even higher than that and maybe get into the 850 or 1,000 range, which would be insane. So that's doing the 2x multiplier. But then Mara, again, is maybe a 3 to 4x multiplier. And then some of these others, like, again, this is probably near the 4x multiplier for CleanSpark because, again, it's a smaller cap. And if we looked over and just jumped into other things like, let's do Bitfarms since I don't have it on my button. I need to fix all my shit. Bitfarms today up 3.61%. Again, people haven't dialed into the small caps yet. It's Mara first, then it'll be CleanSpark, then it'll be these smaller miners. But this one can scream real good. This one could go, it could do some crazy shit. It could get anywhere, by the beginning of this year, it could go or the beginning of this next year, I think it could go anywhere from like down here in the 719 range all the way up to 16s. An 8x in this thing would be insane. Honestly, it'd be really crazy, but I think it's possible, man. I think that this is the time we're getting into, guys. We're getting into the irrational exuberance time again. It's going to be fun. Tesla again. So we should go back. Let's try and get our flow going here, guys. So Tesla, we got some stuff to talk about. One, the podcast, and I'm making my own video. We'll see that later. Two, Elon Musk says, bizarre that so many people still believe in media. There's more to this, but I think that's very true. And if people don't believe in Elon Musk more than they believe in media, this is off of a post from Dylan Loomis. It was really great. It was just talking about, he goes, here's why when I hear someone say they won't buy a Tesla because of Elon's politics or that FSD is a danger for everyone on the roads, I just laugh because I know they've been programmed. Look around, people. And he gives all these reasons. They're very good. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's a wonderful post. Elon liked it so much that he actually commented on it. So check it out. It's a good one. Also, Elon said, but here's the rub. Tesla never has to bribe Kia drivers to buy a Tesla. So it says Sawyer Merritt, Kia is targeting Tesla owners with a new Conquest cash incentive, offering them up to $1,500 to switch from their Tesla to a new Kia. Why would you do that when I can get you a referral that for $1,000 right now? And Tesla's just such a better company. It's just not going to work out for anybody there. This is already in there. We'll take it out. This is another one. It's not a BYD. It's a Li Auto, somebody said, but this is their self-driving. And so it tries to self-drive. It backs over here. It pulls forward. It backs over. It pulls forward. It backs over. It pulls forward. It pulls into the fucking street, and the guy has to go out there because it's blocking traffic, and then he has to park it himself. I can tell you my car's never done that. Also, Tesla and Uber. This is probably one of the bigger news events for the day on top of a price raise. From an analyst, which we'll talk about in a second. Tesla and Uber have launched an in-car integration of ride-sharing navigation directly into Tesla's vehicles for Uber drivers. I think this is cool and very interesting. This is probably like, I don't know, some kind of small hints and previews of what's coming for us on 1010. But very cool stuff. And just, again, more integrations showing how great they are. Elon Musk said best deal in America for Tesla. This is in regard to Colorado, and that you can have up to $24,350 in incentives between the federal tax credit of $7,500 and all the ones coming from Colorado at the same time for about 16 grand worth of additional credits from the state. So this is insane. You can get a car for almost free. Think about that. And California is a little bit like that too. Why would anybody in California or Colorado with these kind of incentives, and these are in a few liberal places, some of these, why would they even think about not buying a Tesla? Even if they hate Elon Musk, they're still going to buy one. I think that's about it there. Let me go over, and again, I thought I had the other posts in here with the raises and everything else. I don't know where they went, but sometimes that's how that's how these bookmarks work. Let me refresh real quick and make sure. And if it's not in there, I can just find it. Yeah, let me just do this. I'll go over here, and then I will just click on news-related events for the daily time frame, and then tell you guys what's out there. All right, here we go. We have Elon Musk warns AI could go rogue. It's 80%. Oh, no, that's not really a big thing. Nobody gives a shit about that. I don't know where it is, but the valuation, they raised their price target. If anybody knows what it is, throw it out in chat. I don't want to fuck around with it. So let's just look at the price. Actually, I'll just auto sort this here. There we go. That's better. So again, a nice day here because of just all the good news that's happening for Tesla. I think it's going to be short order for us to get to 246. I'll probably unload 1, maybe even 2% by then. By the time we get to the 270 to 292 range, I'm hoping to get rid of at least 5%, maybe 10, 15. It just depends on how quickly we get up into the 290s. But again, I'm planning on holding for a while. My targets go a lot higher. I'll give you guys my percentages and talk about them more as time goes on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Tesla. Let's jump over here to PayPal. Again, that hood call earlier, guys, a bunch of little nuggets on my thought process around a lot of things that are happening right now. It was just a stream of consciousness session that ended after Vlad Tenev. Vlad Tenev, by the way, is going to be a leader in the new banking world. I didn't think that before, but I'm starting to think it now. Not with a bank charter, but I think that they're going to be a huge competitor in the exchange market with kind of the ability to be able to be something like PayPal, where you can save your money in there, use it as a money market fund, have your retirement account in there, have a regular trading and investing account, have a wallet where you can store your crypto and other stuff in, maybe get some kind of returns, some kind of incentive. They got the gold card. Then whatever happens in 1010. It's just a really good video, guys. And you got to remember, this thing's down almost 78% and finding support on the first fib line, looking to break out for its fourth higher high, first, second, third, for PayPal. I'm sorry, I'm intermixing PayPal with Hood. But yeah, the TA on this is for PayPal. And what I was talking about is Hood. But PayPal looks really great. Their new commercial with Will Ferrell is amazing. Let's actually jump over to Hood right now so I can show you that too, since I'm talking about it and overlapping the conversation. But again, I talked about this in the stream earlier. I won't repeat it, but we're going to 54%. I think it's very likely. This one is still down 76%. Its previous high was 1,141 days ago. And again, that Vlad video is fucking amazing, if I do not say so myself. SoFi, down 0.42%. And again, I think it's finding support on the 100. I've got my Jack Russell Terrier standing next to me over here. Get out of here, old dog. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Sorry, bud. All right, I love my dog. She's like 15 years old. She's close to death. I don't know why she's down here. There should be somebody watching her. She probably just woke up, and my parents are hanging out upstairs getting ready to meet some of my cousins and other people. But yeah, so 100 moving average, I think we're finding support on it right underneath peak volumes across the entire history of the company. I think we're going back up to the .618. I think we're pushing towards $8. Once we do that, it's going to be a short order to 950, 960. I think that's coming very, very quickly. Anybody that bought the dip on SoFi today, I think, was very smart. Square, again, kind of grinding underneath the fib, grinding underneath peak volumes, just waiting to do this breakout. This is a bull flag. This is very much a bull flag when you look at this and you look at how it's just winding up. It also could be like shoulder, head, shoulder. And the measured move, again, puts us up into the 170 range. I think this looks beautiful. I hope it grinds down lower for a while, though, because I'd like to devote some capital to it, along with SoFi. I hope they kind of suck for a while. I don't expect Palantir to go anywhere, but I also didn't necessarily expect it to go to 35. I thought it was going to stay at 32. So whatever. It could go higher. It could go all the way up to the previous high around the 44 range. That can happen. That could totally happen. We did get a price target raise on this one earlier today, too. I think it was 50 by Bank of America. Let me know if I'm wrong in the chat, guys. But I still think we're doing something. I don't even know if we'll get up this high. I'm kind of changing my thought process on that. It could happen, but I think maybe it starts to roll over. Oh, that was way off. I think it starts to roll over here, maybe even before the all-time high, and maybe it just stops right over here and then falls down to test back over. I don't think it has to do it for this long, but I just try and give myself some distance. But I think maybe something like this before trying to roll up and hit the all-time high. That's kind of where I'm falling right now. ARKG up 1.8%. I still love this play. It's one of my favorite plays. I think it's just going to start screaming higher, and I love the fact that I could make, almost 15,000 onto this account, probably over 25,000 off of ARKG today, just off this call movement. And again, if you look at the multiplier on this, the 2025s are pretty much shit. Those will probably die. Maybe they come back. They could come back to life. I mean, miracles can happen, but I'm not expecting it. But the 2026 is up almost 11% today on a 12% move. That's kind of what you're going to see with ARKG. You're going to see that kind of multiplier. It ain't ugly by any means. We already did Bitcoin. Let's go into other news-related events, and then we'll start going into your guys'. I feel like I'm getting really good at this, guys. We're half an hour in, and I've given you a lot of what you need to know. Now, we do want to go into Bitcoin news because I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about there, and then we'll go further. Again, don't hesitate to be a part of the 7 o'clock pre-show before the debate. So Dennis Porter said, breaking anti-CBDC bill now in law for North Carolina after Senate overturns governor veto. So now we have an anti-CBDC law, and Dennis Porter has worked very hard. I argue with this guy sometimes because he really wants to give liberals the benefit, but I think that's his job. He's literally trying to show Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, anybody who will listen, why Bitcoin is an amazing technology that can help the world and starting with America. And I think he does a great job, and I have a huge amount of respect for him. So I shared this out a while ago. You guys can take a look. It just says thank you to everyone who supported the journey of Satoshi Action. We're just at the beginning of this movement. 2025 will be a big year for Bitcoin. Wins in the USA. So they're fighting the good fight, and I love that. Also, this is an amazing video. I don't know how Meet Kevin got in here. I love him, but what the fuck? Anyway, this says Mara CEO Fred Thiel, and Mara did have a name change and got halted because of the name change. Just stupid shit. I don't know why anybody gives a fuck about that. And then it bounced really hard. Maybe it bounced because people realized it wasn't failing or nothing crazy was happening from the halt. The U.S., it says, must maintain a dominance not just in Bitcoin mining, but also the holding of Bitcoin assets. So there's Anthony Scaramucci. There is Zach Bradford over here. I can see him on the other side of what I believe is Meet Kevin right here. I don't know who the other two. I don't think that's Bukele, and I don't know who this fucker is. Anybody know this guy on the left? But anyway, Fred Thiel talks. We're going to listen to him real quick. It's only 1 minute and 13 seconds, and I think he's fucking spot on.
Bitcoin is of national security concern for this country. Russia is the world's second largest Bitcoin mining nation. Countries that operate on a Bitcoin standard from a perspective of transacting and holding Bitcoin can transact outside of the sanctions environment. They can transact outside of government controls.
Maybe that's not Meet Kevin. I can't tell.
If the U.S.
No, it's probably not.
does not have a substantial amount of Bitcoin mining onshore, they can be locked out, and U.S. companies can be locked out of transacting their Bitcoin. So strategic ownership of block space is of a national security concern. And that's why with 40% of global Bitcoin mining in the US must maintain dominance, not just in Bitcoin mining, but also in the holding of Bitcoin assets in US companies, whether they're ETFs, whether they're Bitcoin mining companies, whether it's MicroStrategy. But the US must maintain dominance.
And we're doing that. We're holding a large swath of Bitcoin right now. I don't know. I don't think we're at 40%, but man, we got a lot of fucking Bitcoin in this country, and that's the way it needs to stay. And Fred Thiel's so brilliant about this. And again, if you haven't read the book Soft War, it is a huge book, guys. It is a big one. Let me grab it here. Ugh. It's not a small book. It's not a small book by any means. It's from Jason Lowry, somebody who is a part of the Space Force for the United States Space Agency.
Same reason the U.S.
It's a big deal. Oh, let me pause. So we need this strategically for exactly what Fred is saying here. And again, check out that book. It's amazing.
Percent of the gold reserves in the world, they can exert influence in financial markets. They have to do that as the world transitions to digital currencies.
He's 100% right, guys. This is such a brilliant statement, which is why I wanted to share it with you today. You might not like what Fred Thiel has done for his weird kind of diversification plays. And I do call them weird, like, again, created their own currency and some other things that I don't know. I don't know how to feel about them. I've had ups and downs in my thought process of big miners, especially publicly traded ones, but I think he's right in the end. And I do think that he cares about Bitcoin and understands it. And I do think we need to hold it as a reserve for exactly why he mentioned. Because if we have all the hash rate, but we don't hold all the Bitcoin, there's just problems that arise from that. But it's really a cool concept to talk through. And let's keep going. Let's talk some more Bitcoin. And then I'll check up on chat in a second. Dennis Porter said, do I wish we lived in a world where we didn't have to defend and protect our natural rights? Yes. Do we live in a world where those in power will respect our natural rights? No. I would say definitely not under Democrats. He's not saying this, but I would. Thus, the fight continues for freedom of speech and freedom to use Bitcoin. And I agree. I think that's a really, really smart comment. And again, Bitcoin, I said when it was at 55,213 that we were headed higher, and we were going to start heading towards the 60. What did I say? 65,000 range. And I still think that that's happening. And I think I would argue that I'm being proven right now that we're getting close to 58,000 and we're for a little bit today. And I think that will continue. Some people think it'll roll over. Could it do that? I watched somebody Freedom for 40 or something. I don't know. Some of the people that follow him are idiots, but not all of them, but some of them are fucking stupid. But could it do this as a measured move? It totally could. He's right about this. I don't think it will. I don't think it has to. But could it do it? Yes, it could. Either way, though, I don't give a shit. I'm making 6 figures off of Tesla and other investments while this shit drops. So I would love it if it keeps on going down and I can accumulate more while that happens. So could that happen? Would I be fine if that happens? Hell yeah. Do it. Drop that motherfucker. All right. Anyway, let's go back over here. So I think that's about it for Bitcoin. Let me see if there's any. I don't think there's any other news. Let me get caught up on chat. Sorry, guys. It's just I'm trying to do a lot. So I'm trying to get through things really, really quick. So I'm going to start at the top and I'll work my way down really fast. So, hey, Jesse, thoughts on Oracle? I guess we pulled it up. Or did we pull it up? No, I think we did. But did we actually talk about why it did so well? I don't know if we did. Again, it was a price raise. It was a price raise to 175. That's my thought on Oracle. Alex Garcia, what a pump for Bitcoin related today. We love to see it. Sure, I hope it drops. But yeah, that's cool. David Parketney, hello. Disease Kodak, sub Jesse. Disease Kodak, custodian work and post market chart. Let's get it. I'm not sure what you mean. Carlo. Hey, Jesse, if you can please check Spot. This must be Spotify. I've seen some people being really bullish about it. Want to see if you think they're a good company for future. Thanks. That's a great question. So let's just look. We'll check out the chart. We'll check out the financials, and then we'll call it good on Spot. But I'm assuming this is Spotify, right? I think I have it. Let me see. I do have a chart, and it's done really well. Should it keep going up? Maybe. The net income isn't bad. But this thing was probably a better bet in October of 2022 when it was $69. Now it's $327. It's already ran a lot. But financially, not fundamentally, financially, has it done all right? Let's check. Oh, and this is Shopify. Or wait, no, what am I looking at? Spot or Shop? What the fuck was I doing? Now my brain's confused. Spot. Okay, my bad. Let's go over here. Is that what I looked up or did I look up Shop? Now I got to look. All right, let's see over here. No, I did do Spot. Okay, cool. I'm only half my brain is retarded right now. Okay, so revenue growth year over year, 10%. You like to see this, totally monthly active users. I don't know why. I feel like YouTube, though, could crush Spotify if it wanted to. I use YouTube Music all the time because I already use YouTube on here. But maybe people will go away from YouTube because of the censorship. I don't know. But revenue here, we can see it doing well. Monthly active users doing well. Premium subscribers doing well. Ad-supported monthly revenue doing well, but again, starting to round over. Net income, good recently. Cash flow, good recently. Is it going to continue to go higher? Let's check. Their cash is building up down here. We can see some bonds. We can see 1.5 billion in bonds, decent cash, 4.5 billion in cash. They're still diluting shareholders. I don't like that for a stock at all. Let's look at estimates. I don't like for a stock this big. It's like, why can't you just make money without diluting me? Why are we still in growth mode? Especially when you have YouTube as a competitor, large competitor. We do still have growth though, and EPS is supposed to be positive. So let's look over here. We got a what? What do we got? What do we got for PE ratio and other metrics? Forward PE 35. That's pretty good. If the growth continues, this thing could continue to do well. But would I be heavily invested in this right now? Do I think that it could go higher? Maybe even to the 500-600s. Let's look real quick here. We can do a trend-based fib extension and get some ideas on how well this thing can do. I'm not going to do it there, though. I'm going to try and look from, March of 2020. That's the best place to do it. So we'll start here. So that was the big flush out. Not as big for Spotify. Why not as big for Spotify? I don't know. People probably signed up for a lot of those memberships because they weren't working because of the pandemic. Anyway. So could we go up higher? Could we go to 540? Maybe. But do you give a shit about that when you have Tesla, when you have Bitcoin, when you have Hood, when you have ArcG, when you have all these PayPal, when you have all these other opportunities that are out there? I don't. Okay, so Disease Kodak, can you go over prices you plan to scale out of your Clean Spark calls? Yeah, and I said I could do that. I can do that real quick. I'll just go through it. I'll tell you kind of what I pseudo-told people earlier on my current thoughts for Clean Spark. Why am I pulling it up this way? I have a button. Anyway, so with CleanSpark, how am I scaling out? I'm probably scaling out. I mean, I might scale out even a little bit at 17, just like, I don't know, 10% maybe at 17, just because, probably not, maybe 5% at 17, just at this next fib zone. And then the next, I'd probably be maybe even 20% out, 15% out for sure, 15 to 20, maybe at 33. And then by the time we get up to 74, maybe it's 50. Maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's 50 to 70. I don't know. It just depends on what the momentum looks like. I'd say by 100, I'm going to probably be like 90 to 100% out. It just all depends. If I get 1,000%, plus I have calls. So if I look at CleanSpark, if I just look at that, I don't know, whatever. It's over $1 million that I would make. It's over $1 million that I would make. And right now my positioning is about 188,000, and I'd probably make 1.2, 1.3 million in profit, roughly, if I dial out kind of like at that pace, I think. So, yeah, it seems like a good amount of money. Actually, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's probably getting closer to 2 million if I dial out at that pace. So maybe I'll do it more aggressively and then just turn it into stock. I don't know. But it's going to be a hell of a ride, bro. Yeah, okay. So let me go down. Disease Kodak. Oh, I saw the Tesla on that. I think I skipped some. I must have missed that. I'll have to go back and watch. If you know a time frame that would help. Okay, so I already gave you your answer. You should be good there. Pursuit of Code. Tesla and Bitcoin looking strong. I agree. Disease Kodak. But again, if Tesla or if Bitcoin rolls over, don't be scared. That's my only bit of advice. If it rolls over and does something like this and then goes up, just use it as an opportunity. Maybe sell a contract or two of Tesla, depending on how many you have. I have a bunch. I have like 100, almost 200 contracts for January or July of 2026. So at a 330 strike. So I have a lot. I have a lot to work with. So if you hear me selling, don't worry. Don't fret. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple. Just nibbling and buying some of my favorite shit. Hell yeah, tomorrow morning I'll definitely be there. Yeah, watch that, dude. It's really good. What's your price target for ARKG? I kind of went over some of that. My price target is around 55, but I can go back to it again. I guess I kind of went over what I think the price action could get to, but I didn't necessarily say my targets. So if the market goes risk on, and I've still got to determine that, but I'll probably be selling. I'll probably be close to probably 5% out by 31.50. And then by the time we get up towards 34, I'll probably be at least 10% out right over here, 10 to 15 by 35. And then when we get up to 38, I'll probably be 20 to 25% out. And then when we get up here to the 40s, the 47 range, I'll probably be, 30, maybe 40% out. I do actually think that there's potential to go up to 75. So I'll just be dialing out, I think, up to 75, the .618. And I think I'll make a lot of money off of that. That's kind of my price target on that. All right, let me see here. Tomorrow's a rocket. Yes, Pursuit of Code it is. Alex Garcia, I love Elon. Me too, bro. Disease Kodak, hell yeah. Tomorrow morning, it'll be fun. Todd, watch a little bit. Yeah, so that video that we just watched with Elon Musk. Tomorrow morning after the morning recap, I'll do that video. We'll do a watch through with it because there's a lot of stuff politically, business-wise, and future-wise that I think is really valuable to hear. Where just some fresh takes from Elon that we haven't always heard over and over and over again. So you might actually get something new, like that SNL video, which was amazing. Gary Curett, I literally just watched that. Yeah, it's so funny. Lol, a bunch of people laughing. Meow, meow. Jesus. David Parquetne, did you buy Bitcoin shares? All right, I already answered that one. Sealess, Elon has arrived. He's ready to go. UK Parliament now. What? He's ready to go to the UK Parliament now. What are you talking about? Is he really? Jeff L., we need a Pursuit of Code. Oh, are you guys talking about like his just comments, not giving a fuck? Yeah, that would be great. Burr time is what Pursuit of Code said. George Manassas says, he's a buddy of mine, strong Trump debate plus a two-handle CPI melt up. I agree, brother. I agree. Oh, let me see. I might have skipped a few comments. Let me get back over here. Don't want to go too far. Pursuit of Code, lol. Pursuit of Code, 1,300 CLS calls, bro. Lol. I know. I bought a couple. I might have got a little irrationally exuberant, but I think it's going to turn out really well. It doesn't have to, but it made me 10% today. It's a good start. Almost 2x today. I got a feeling it's really going to kick into overdrive here soon. So I'm very excited about it. Very excited. All right, C-List. Does anyone here use interactive brokers? Not me. Version 850 ounce. Yes, I do. C-List. Jesse is so cocky today. Cocky with a K. That's me every day, bro. Mike, Amit had Trueflation on yesterday, I believe. Oh, okay. They must be hitting him up too. I think you need to take them up on their offer. I should do it. I'll respond. C-List, coin, please. Yeah, sure, bro. Coin. Look how efficient I'm getting at this, man. We might get this entire fucking thing done in an hour. How cool is that? Now I can Now I can focus on other shit. I used to drone on for 2. Some days I will. But yeah, oh wow, we got to fix this. We're all over the fucking place here. So let me see. This is rough. Coin is rough. Coin is rough to chart out because I don't have March of 2020. I don't really have what I need to draw my trend-based fib extension. So all I could do really is just like something like this, where again, it's like you could see where we broke up, got to the .618. That's the key rejection zone. We perfectly rejected it. Couldn't get above the .5. Got dropped down and tested the .382. Dropped under it. Now we want to test back up to the 382, and I think we will. And so we can get, I'd say 277 is pretty easy. We'll probably get to 335 would be my guess when Bitcoin gets to 92,000. And then, or 345, yeah. And then I could see us very quickly getting to 426 maybe. Maybe all the way up to like between 426 and 670 if Bitcoin goes up to 150 between now and the spring. So that's kind of my thought process on coin. I think it'll do really well. It is the largest ETF holder. They do pretty good on revenue. They got a lot of reasons to do well. Riot. Yeah, I can do that. Riot was requested by Jaden. Let's pull that up. Not my favorite miner, but we could talk about that on the weekend. And why, all that fun stuff. So again, the good thing here is we got a nice bounce, 6.31%. I haven't updated this in a while, but let me just move some stuff over. I'll at least try and clean up the chart each time I talk about it. So could this thing go up to 205% between now and the end of the year if Bitcoin goes up to 92? Heck yeah, it can do that. It's that's 533% from where the bottom was. I think it's very doable. I'll just pull this down too, and then I'll probably save this chart for now, and we can look at more later. But again, price targets, I'll push more. I'll talk about the high upper end price targets more as time goes on. Right now, it's just so premature because we're so far away from all this stuff. And I could talk about it, but it's like it can change. And I'll have much better answers later. But I can give you a ballpark now. I don't care about that. Not the end of the world. But I do think, though, this is kind of pricing peaking out in like October, maybe. And I would say right at $100 is the max peak. Probably not, honestly. For this one, I'm just going to take this one off. I'm going to say the .618 at 887 would be the peak number on this. We won't get above 72. I doubt that we'd get above that. That's a 10x. That's a really great move for Riot. This is a 2.2 billion. It can do it. Doesn't have to, though. It's not the best miner. I'd rather own CleanSpark. Tired Gang. Sorry I missed it. But what's the bull case on SoFi? Just rate cuts? It's rate cuts and innovation. They are still a tech company. They're not a brick and mortar bank. And they're taking market share. I do think Hood, though, as far as a trading platform, is crushing them. But these guys can do well from student loans too, originations. So I think, and again, if we're not forgiving all the student loans, I think that's going to end up benefiting. If we get a Trump presidency, you're going to see a benefit to SoFi there too, along with rate cuts. So again, it's a much better version than an existing bank. This is a bet on something that's better than an existing bank. That's my take on SoFi. All right, keep going. John Boyle, investing. John Boyle, data-driven investment, did a couple of good posts earlier about SoFi. Check those out. Yeah, sure, we can do that. I think I responded to one of them. I don't know if I put it on here, though. Did I put it on here? Probably not. Doesn't look like it. All right, let's go to data investing then. He is my boy. I do love him. Here, let's go to his page. He's a very analytical person. I like the way he thinks. So 14 minutes ago, he said, if gasoline had the same inflation rate as college tuition since 1980, we'd pay $15.10 per gallon right now. That's just showing how crazy it is for inflation. That's fucking nuts. A big part of the problem is that federal student loans have allowed colleges to increase tuition every year at accelerated rates while the students don't see the cost of that increase until after they graduate. More often than not, when the government gets involved in an industry, price goes up over time and gets much worse, not better. Then the market forces are allowed to work on their own. So I do agree. I actually think that if Trump gets into office, you could see him leaning on the inflation rate that we're seeing for college tuition because it's fucking outrageous. And instead of having the government forgive a bunch of loans, I think some of these colleges need to start. They definitely should be getting government incentives, and if anything, they should be penalized if they're increasing by too much. If there's anything you're going to do a price control on, college could be one of them, because the tuitions, again, are insane, and these guys don't need to rebuild their buildings every fucking 10 years. It's just insanity. And so many people are taking college right now that don't need to. Maybe this stuff just fixes itself. Maybe less and less people, if we have a good educational system before college, stop spending so much money on college. I could see that. I'm just going to type this real quick. Maybe in the future, if our educational system is better, then less people will go to college and they will be forced to lower prices if we don't subsidize payouts for debt forgiveness. So yeah, I agree with you. So, and I think that benefits SoFi. So yeah, good call. That's a good one to see. That's my thought process in real time. Let's see if he has anything else. This is another one. I think I commented on this and I liked it. It says stock-based comp versus revenue and their stock-based compensation as a percentage of revenue over time. That's a good metric. It's okay. It slowed down a little bit recently. But again, I think I've given you, this is a good post. So he said a second and probably bigger reason a lot of fintechs are red today. He goes, the Fed Vice Chair Michael Barr recommended that they repurpose the Basel III endgame. A lot of things that get affected by this decision. The most important thing is that large banks, JPM, Citibank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, would be required to increase their CET1 ratio by 9%. In layman's terms, that means that the banks need to tighten up their balance sheets to increase the amount of capital they have on hand. So bigger banks tightening up their balance sheets while, things that aren't banks don't have to go through all of this. So he did say, even though the root cause is different, this would have many of the same consequences as quantitative tightening. I kind of agree with that, but I think it's for bigger banks, and I think that you can counter that with the Fed and the Treasury. But will this have to happen? I don't know that it has to happen. I don't know that Michael Barr has to be right, and I don't think he's going to be right. But this is a good one. I need to add probably my own little thoughts on this later. I think that's probably good for now under the data-driven investing stuff. But that was good. That's insightful. Good call, man. Definitely worth looking at. If there's anything I missed that he talked about too that should be important, let me know. C-list. Okay, so drive up the BTC as Russia can and afford less. Okay, so you drive up the BTC price so Russia can afford less and mine less with more of the dated hardware. Yeah, that sounds good. C-list. Stop selling U.S. Bitcoin also. Agreed. We need to have that stockpile. Anything that that gets confiscated should be stockpiled, in my opinion. I don't see why we would ever want that to be any different than that. Let's see, John Boyle. Anyone here of Laser, Luminous Technologies? A friend of mine told me to check them out. Laser. Let's look at it. Do you know what they do? Your friend that told you that? Do you know what they do? Let me see here. Make a copy. Laser. If you know what they do, let me know. Otherwise, we can look it up in a second here through. All right, Luminar Technologies. Oh, wow, Jesus Christ. This thing sucks. Down 7% today. Down from 49 to 76 cents. This thing's down over a 90% crush from where it was in 2021. That sucks badly. That says dying company. Do the financials say dying company? Because this says dying company. It is down 98%, almost 99. I think this is probably dead money and a value trap and something you should stay the fuck away from. That's my guess. I'm just going to go up in here and take a look though. Let's see if the financials reflect that. Yeah, they kind of do. Again, they're growing, and I like growth. Their forward PE is 1.7 or 5.6. That's fascinating. That is crazy low. But that's probably not calculated right because they've never really made money. Their cash flow is bleeding. They're burning $130 million in a quarter where they're making 16. This is a horrible fucking company. Their debt load, they're probably going bankrupt. Their cash is almost gone. Their bonds are almost gone. Their debt is not gone, and it's increasing all the time as they burn through massive amounts. Free cash flow is negative $78 million in a quarter. They will go broke unless you guys just keep funding them through stock. So I would not own this company. If they start to lower the amount of money they're losing per quarter like they've guided for, then great. Maybe this turns into something better. But this is just the worst operating leverage chart you'd ever want to see, where expenses are super fucking high and the revenue hasn't been going anywhere. This is a shit company, in my opinion, unless you can tell me why it's better. Tell me why it's a good company. It's an auto parts place too. Auto parts, are those going to be doing well? Are people going to buy Teslas that cost them like 15 grand after incentive in Colorado and Texas, or in Florida or California? Geez, I don't know. I don't like this company at all. Tony, CCL, Carnival Corporation, possible rebound play. Is it? Is it a rebound play? If the stock market, if Trump goes into office, stocks take off. Next spring to summer, people are looking to get out again and go on cruises. That's probably what I'm going to do. Is that the right take on this? Let me make a copy here. I haven't looked at Carnival since it was like popular during after the pandemic, after the pandemic bounce. You know what I mean? So let me see here. CCL. This could be interesting. I don't know. It does look like it wants to break higher above the 200 moving average on the weekly. Could this be a bounce up? Could they start making more money? What are they guiding towards? They're a $20 billion company. It looks like breakout imminent off of this previous volume way over here. Let's go to the monthly, get a bigger history. Yeah, boy, you can see where we're testing this before going higher. And where could it go? 35, probably pretty easily. That's roughly a doubling of where we are today. Just at a glance here. And let's pull it up and look at the financials super quick. If you have more to say about it, throw it out into chat, and I'll try and get caught up with chat. I'm super close. I'm near the top. So revenue growth, 18% year over year. It looks like they're getting towards net income positive, where before these guys were printing billions of dollars a quarter, 3 billion. Could they get back to that? Fuck, they could. If Trump wins, I think they get back to that and they start making money again. They've had to dilute shares really hard, though, in the meantime. But maybe this is a good play for springtime. Maybe this is a good play for the winter. If you've made a lot of money in other things, maybe CCL becomes interesting. I'm going to throw that in my list. CCL, possible hedge, or not hedge, possible Trump play for the spring or winter. Yeah, I like that. It could get interesting. You could go higher. Dominic, hey Jesse, and let me know your guys' thoughts on this too. If you guys have thoughts about like how things could play out, throw them in chat, dude. Definitely. I might not agree with you, but you might be more insightful than me. I mean, again, I literally moved $100,000 on Saturday or Sunday because you guys talked me into bit farms. So I'm not always the rightest person in the room. Dominic, hey Jesse, would you mind looking at Goog chart? I did earlier, but I can do it again. I did, well, maybe not. I didn't do it in this one, I should say. I did it earlier, and I think that other session where I did Robinhood, and some great insights in there, guys. I think it really, like, just stream of consciousness stuff. So we were talking about Google, Roy from Crossroads, that appears sometimes, you know, with Future Invest and all those guys. So we were talking about this, and I said, hey, maybe this is finding some support over here, but I think this is going to be a shit investment going sideways for a while because there's no real catalyst for these guys. Their AI or their search sucks. Nobody uses it anymore. Only if you're looking up a website. Most of the time, I just use Grok. Other people use ChatGPT, Claude, just everything, right? There's so many different tools to use besides Google. And now Google's shooting itself in the foot, not just with censorship against me, other big accounts like Tesla accounts and other people. A lot of people are moving over to Rumble. A lot of people are talking about moving to X once their tools get better. So I don't know that Google has a good life in front of it personally, but I also wouldn't short it. I think it could just trade sideways for a year or two. They do have a lot of cash. So if we look at the one benefit, let's just take a closer look into Goog here. And I think I just have Google. Yeah, there we go. Google. Oh, and I probably should have the chart from Google. Whatever. It's really close. It's like parent company shit. It's really close. But traffic acquisition costs, revenues. Again, revenues are going up 13% year over year. That's double digit. Right now they're sitting at 17 for a forward PE. Could you get a higher multiple than that? Maybe. YouTube revenues going up. Net income looks good. When you're making, is that a 23 billion in a quarter? That can't be fucking real. These guys have 73 billion in bonds. So if this thing goes up, it's just because of their balance sheet. I think as a company, they're going to have to buy back more stock. I think they're going to slowly die off and go into obscurity unless they really change who they are. I think if Trump becomes the president, he's going to go after them hard. I think they're already getting sued, and they're going to have the Democrats still going after them, even if they win. So there's regulatory scrutiny. There's probably separate your businesses and chop them up. There's a lot of weird shit with Google. I just don't like it, dude. I don't like it right now. C-list. COQ is French. The Mailbird hints meme coins like COQ and ENU. Are these some shit coins that you have? Did you want me to look them up or something? Shale, C-list. Just got interactive brokers connected with my code base. Shale. Or what did Shale say? Let me find it. Here, I'm real close. Yeah. All right. I think I was real close. No, I lost it. I don't know if there's anything. Let me see here. Behopendra, Elf, please. Down from 52-week high of 221 to 110 now. Yeah, I can take a look. Shale said, planning on playing with it next few months before running algos automated. That's what you were saying about interactive broker. Interesting. So let's look at Elf from a financial standpoint. And again, we'll keep going. We're in an hour and I'll probably quit in a little bit. I want to hang out with my family before we have the debate later on tonight, and I fire things up at 7. Again, watch that other video too. If you didn't check at the market open, it's interesting. The better video out of the two, though, is probably the Robinhood CEO one. You got to hear Vlad. You got to hear about the future he's bringing. He's bringing it hard. I'll probably elaborate more on it in other conversations in the future. So Elf, 50% revenue growth year over year. Got slower for last quarter in Q2, but let's go back historically. Historically, it looks like there are different times that can pop. It looks like Q3, Q4. It's really Q4 when you get the biggest pop. So net income last quarter was $47 million. This thing's got a forward PE of 35. Still a little rich, but it's growing pretty well. And if EPS and revenue growth continue to take off, I think this company will do well and will go into its valuation. They are diluting shareholders. Let's look at activity here. Are we seeing buybacks or anything else? We're seeing 6.58% short interest. So there's a little bit more institutional ownership all the time. No real buybacks to speak of. They sold a lot of their stock in 2019, at least to insiders. But again, this isn't a bad looking company. This is a decent amount. The thing I wish their operating expenses scaled better. They just don't. And that sucks. That means that we have this operating leverage chart where it's not as pretty as it could be. I'd like to see I'd like to see the revenue continue to go up while expenses are going down. Let's look at Elf from a chart perspective, real quick. Hey guys, can you like this stuff? If I work hard for this, and it's not easy to come back every day and just, especially when you're retired, and try and contribute your knowledge for stuff like this. You want to for your own self and your family, but at the same time, it's like I want to help other people, but I could be doing other things with my time. So every bit of appreciation you guys show helps me want to keep doing this. So thank you. Elf bounced. No, this isn't Elf. What the fuck is that? Got overwritten. Anyway, so Elf has taken a beating. And again, the valuation has dropped. I think it's, gosh, let's just do this. We need to make sure we've hit the bottom. So, how should I be drawing this? Is this the right way? Should this have been the right way? This is the right way. So, could we stop here and bounce? Maybe. Could we go down here to the .618? Only if things are getting a lot worse. The financials don't look like they're getting worse. Now, the .618 is usually like the reversal zone, but I don't know that we have to drop this far. And I don't know why it's dropping this far. I'd be curious, if you guys know more news-related events about these guys, let me know. How far has this drop been? We had that double top. Really, we had the measured move for the double top. I actually think this is looking interesting. This thing dropped 50%. I don't know that you immediately have to move into this, but is Elf a good opportunity when markets start to recover? I'm going to have a check back in winter note to check back in winter. All right. Needs 55. Jesse, what time are you morning recaps? So I'm trying to do it around 7:30 a.m. Central Time. I don't know if there's a better time for that, but that seems to be a good time. If there's economic data, it kind of lets me tell you my thoughts in the morning, and then I potentially can pull up economic data. I might push it to 8 too, just to give me time to say goodbye to my daughter in the morning and my wife while she's dropping her off. So you guys let me know, 7 or 8 o'clock. You know what? Let me do a poll real quick. 1 second here. I shouldn't keep this yes or no because that wouldn't make sense. 7, 8, some other time. All right, so here's my thought process behind it. If I do it at 8, then I have like an hour, like there might be some economic data that's already out, but we can pull it up and I can give you my thoughts on it because it came in at 7 or 7:30. The most important data doesn't usually come out around that time. If we look over here at the economic data chart, again, like tomorrow at 7:30, you'll get core inflation. So again, maybe tomorrow I do it at 7:30, and then on other days, maybe I'd pull it over to 8. So maybe the next couple of days I do it at 7:30 because all the big data comes out then. And then on days, I guess export and import prices. On a day like this, I'll probably start at 8. So on Friday, I'll probably start at 8 a.m. because, again, we got export and import prices for year over year, but we're going to get Michigan data at 9. So it kind of makes sense that maybe I split it up, tell you other thoughts in between. So maybe it's a combination. Maybe it's a combination. You guys like 8. Okay, if you guys like 8, keep answering, like whatever your vote is. But that's interesting. Okay, cool. I might do 8 then. Let me see here. Let's keep going. If you guys have more stocks, throw them out. Also, if you want me to I might be ending here soon. So if you want me to get to anything for sure, maybe throw out a tip just to get my attention. Needs 55. Jesse. Oh no, that was that one. Sealess Shale does IB allow paper trading to test your algos? Yep. Cool. Let us know how interactive brokers go, Shale. Let us know what you think. Sealess. Yeah, I'm in the DC area, and there are 3 designated health insurance markets. Makes for a terrible choice and competitiveness. That sucks. Sealess, we also have large loans to mediocre students who are not ready for college. There's so much of that bullshit. There's so many students. I'd say half the people going to college right now don't need to be there. Imagine what happens if you see a 50% reduction because we do a better job educating people before college to be ready for the workforce for whatever particular job we try and get them fit into at a younger age. Then we can get rid of some of this high charging college bullshit, and some of these guys could start fucking competing against each other. It's just really not subsidizing everything through the government. You create so much bullshit and inefficiency. We're subsidizing people to run around with a bunch of Palestinian flags talking about fucking socialism and communism and how people that are fucking terrorists that literally burnt fucking babies and butchered women and young children, little fucking kids, after they were done raping them are bad people. The people that got raped, the people that had their babies murdered are the bad guys. Why the fuck are we doing that? Fuck them. Fuck them. Liberal, woke ass fucking assholes. I'll be happy when you guys don't get jobs. All your fucking piercings and your multicolored fucking hair. See how far that gets you in life. Especially after Trump gets elected. Anyway, I don't know where all that came from. Definitely I need to talk to my shrink or something. Jeff L. Right. Reduce costs of college, not free college. Yes, exactly. I think it can fix itself. Sela said we could safely reduce federal student loans 20%. John says laser creates LiDAR systems. They're going to die. That's my take. Disease Kodak, curious, your scale out plan with Hood, if possible. So that's a good question. So let me just go back here. So with Hood, I do think that I'll probably be at least 30% out by 30, then maybe 40% out by 34, and then I might play it by ear. I do think, though, that Hood, these calls, I've got to look at the options and just kind of double check timing. This is a rough idea, though. I do think we're going to get, I think Hood will test its all-time high before the end of this bull cycle sometime next year. That's a 292% increase. So it just really depends on how quickly we move, what happens with these guys on 10/16 when they release whatever Vlad is calling legendary. I'm sure Amit's going to be there. We'll see how crazy his hair is this time. We'll see whether he's getting any free gold cards from Vlad. But it'll be exciting to see how all that plays out. Vlad, if you want to ship me fucking places too, I'll hang out with Amit, and we can talk about stuff. I promise not to fucking cuss, bro. Seriously. And give me my gold card. I want my gold card, Vlad. All right, right, reduce. DZ's Kodak. If you don't do it tonight, that's fine. Well, I already did it. Too late. Whoa, you did ask for more. CLSK, Hood. I already did those two. And my top 3, PayPal as well. I've kind of talked about PayPal a few times. I think, but I'll do it real quick. So, again, we're right at this fib. I think we're getting ready to launch. I think we're getting ready to really launch in the next month here. I think we can get to 83. By the time we get to 83, I'll probably be at least 15% out. Might liquidate a decent amount of my January 2025s, especially if we do it quick, just to get out of those with anything. Right now, they're pretty much fucking losers. What do we got? I got to work on my cussing. I am going to try for that, guys. I'm going to try and make it a reasonable amount of cussing. So these PayPal ones are just dying. So if they, maybe I'll keep them for a while, these 2025s. It's only 21 grand. I don't even care. But if they really start to scream and I make back maybe even half my losses for 2025s, that would be amazing. And I'd probably liquidate out of them. So maybe I get out of the 2025s. If they move quick and we get to a 97 level, and let's say the next quarter or two, well, it will have to be 2, right? Because they expire in January. So let's say in the next quarter, we run up to 97 and maybe I'm only at 57% losses because I have a huge strike on these. What is my strike? It's a stupid number. It is 140. I'm probably going to make nothing. Who knows? If we get some big movements here, I'm just going to get the fuck out of these. But for the rest, for the January 2026, the 350, maybe 400,000 that I have left over between all my accounts, that I'll probably, at 97, I'll probably try and be 30% out. At 114, I'll probably try and be anywhere from 50 to 70% out. At 127, I'll probably try and be 80% out. And at 140, I don't know, maybe I'm a little aggressive, shave 5-10% off of each of those numbers. I'll talk about it more later. But this gap at 152, maybe there I try to get 80 to 90% out. And then maybe 75 to 80% right up here. I'll write them out. I'll think about it. I'll write them out. I'll update them. I'll put them on this chart. Maybe I'll start doing that with other ones too. I'll write them out though. Chris Patel. I love those guys, man. I got to hang out with them. They've offered me on a stream a bunch of times and I never fucking do it. I should. If you guys are interested in me spending time with them, let me kill this poll. What is their show called again? Can somebody help me? Let's look at poll results real quick though. Poll result, 66% of people said 8 o'clock. That's actually works better for me. So maybe I'll just do 8. I'm just going to do 8. If that works for you guys. How many people voted? 54. Yeah, maybe 8's it. Yeah, because you guys maybe are at work, like dicking around or something. I don't know. Let's see here. Oh, we got to go back up. I missed a few. Right, reduce costs for college. Okay, Maytag says great stream, Jesse. Nice way to lead in my last working meeting day of the day. Thank you. Yeah, dude, that was so funny, right? That's a great way to end or to go into the end of the day. Daniel Kane, Chris Patel has done a lot of due diligence on Carnival Cruise Line. Sees it as a great play, benefiting from rate cuts as it benefits their debt. Hey, if you talk to Chris, let's maybe figure that out. Again, what is the name of their show they do? I should get on that. I like all those guys, dude. All 3 or 4. If Mick gets on it too, I don't know if he still does it. I have been too busy just to watch, but I love those guys. Whatever they'd want to talk about, I would do that. MB, Jesse, your view on ResMed, please. RMD, I am long already, but Apple's news, sleep apnea may increase the market size significantly. I have sleep apnea. I got this retainer that I wear at night to keep from snoring. I was waking up, I guess, like 52 to 90 times a night without knowing this. I was probably just in sheer desperation. I felt tired every morning when I woke up, and I found out that I had horrible sleep apnea. My wife had said that I'd snored for a while. They were going to put me on a CPAP where it breathes for you. That was a horrible fucking experience, and so I said no. And I got a retainer built instead. You brush your teeth before you put it in at night. You rinse it out in the morning with cold water. It pulls your lower jaw forward just a little bit, and that makes it to where your tongue doesn't roll back into your throat, and you can sleep really good. So for anybody who actually has sleep apnea, you should look into that. I can give you more details on it. Hit me up on X or on one of these streams, because I think that's a very real problem that kills a lot of people way earlier. My levels, there's so many things that were wrong. My doctor told me they were worried about me. And after that, I've gotten infinitely better. As your health improves and you become more active, you get healthier. So I do really think that everybody should pay attention to that kind of stuff. Eat good, eat less, drink Supergut. There's this thing I have that I got from David Friedberg off the All-in-One podcast, a company he was supporting, that I started for the stomach issues that I have. It's made it to where I don't have to take anything anymore for my stomach, medically prescribed or not, or I should say at least 90% of the time. It's really saving my life. There's things you can do. Again, sleep good, heal, take care of your stomach. Most of you guys probably have leaky gut and don't even know it and just pop like Alka-Seltzer and antacids all the time, and you're ruining your lives. So fix that shit. All right, let me make a copy. Sorry for going off on that rant, but I just want people, I feel like way too many people have these problems and they don't know how to fix it. And I don't want people to be suffering like I did if they don't have to be, because that's not a good way to live. And especially as you get older, if you guys aren't in your 40s and 50s yet, the older people here, they know what the fuck I'm talking about. RMD up 1.32% today. I don't really know much about this, but I got it saved now. Let's go ahead and pull up visual stocks and look them up over here and see if there's anything interesting. And I didn't have the meeting. I didn't do a good job following up with Alejandro. It's totally on me. Alejandro, if you're able to meet tomorrow or the next day, let's do it. I'd love to get a few things fixed before the next minor meeting. And if you don't have time for that too, that's okay. We'll figure it all out, man. We're gonna grow, and we're gonna make every week a better one for the minor comparison. ResMed looks interesting. You got almost double-digit year-over-year revenue growth. You got 27% profit growth. You got a 28 forward PE. Not a crazy number, especially if they have any kind of... What was the news with Apple? Can you tell me? I can probably check in a second, but if you've got the news, throw it out. Revenue continuing to grow. EPS continuing to grow. EBIT growing. Looks fairly promising, especially if they're getting any kind of contracts with Apple. They've been doing more buying in 2018 than selling. In 2019, the same in 20. And just barely about equal in 2021, and then again more insider buying in 2022, more insider buying in 2023. I don't hate that. Again, more recently selling, but the stock has done pretty good, so maybe that's why. They were down at 134 and now they're 252, so you get a doubling in the stock. And if you're getting paid a lot in stock, let's see if they are. Stock-based comp, 1.75%. That's not even bad. Operating leverage doesn't look bad either. This looks like a decent stock, man. Again, what is the actual news with them? We should know that. MB says, yep, one more stock I've mentioned already is RMD, and I think I do have that on my list. But yeah, we should look at that. I've got a good list of about 10 stocks now, and I do need to figure out if I need to create a Discord, because I'm taking notes and I'm not putting them anywhere. It seems like we should start coming up with I should come up with a consensus on good stocks to check in the future for hedges in different categories, and then I should have them indicated as a status of research. And then if we find stuff, maybe we could all add it in there under these different stocks. Fuck, maybe Discord isn't a horrible idea. Maybe there can be some value, like a $2 membership or something stupid low, where we could do research together and comment on individual stocks that we're tracking along with other categories that we want to track. I think that could be cool, man. You guys are getting me excited. Let's see. Tony Nguyen. Thank you, Daniel Kang. I was looking into increasing my starter position in it, and I can't help but think that it's just no way in millions of boomers are going to do a bunch of cruises. Yeah, right. Hey guys, I think I'm gonna call it though. I hate to do this. I need to use the bathroom. I want to hang out with my family, and I'm just not even caught up with chat yet, so I'm sorry. But this was great, and I really am getting excited about the Discord. I think that's something I need to do too. So I'll add that on my list of to-dos. So it's getting the minor comparison video better. It's doing the morning recap every day. It's trying to find another video or two during the day that's interactive and helpful. It's trying to be efficient with your time. We're an hour and 20 minutes in here, and I think we got a lot accomplished over that period of time. So we're going to work on all these things and just improving and improving and improving. PAGS is on my list, SK. That one I got too. That's the Brazilian one. That's another one I want to look at. So as we make a bunch of money off these other investments, I do think it's smart that we go in here and we start figuring out what we can do for a Discord. We start figuring out together. We should start combining news together. That's fucking smart. I love that, actually. I don't know how Patreon works. Maybe, you know what I wish I could do? I might do something else, guys. I might do something else. I might lower my membership costs on YouTube down to $1 for everybody, and then have different tiers on Patreon and try and provide a lot more value that way. That way, every one of you that's a member on YouTube will have that for a low, cheap price. And then if you want to really support my work while getting a value add, you do that on Patreon. I think I get a lot more money that way, which means I get to keep it. And then we can say fuck you to YouTube, which I like that concept. Because I got over 1,200 people that pay me right now, anywhere from $2 to $20 or 20 or 25 a month, whatever the whale is. And there's a lot of you paying a lot of money, like being an alpha male or female, assisting me and hooking me up. I would get more of that cut if we did a Patreon. You'd still have pretty much the exact same experience, and we could do better research as a team. I fucking love it. I love it. And then we'd keep the prices really reasonable too. We don't need to do anything crazy. I don't see any reason why between the two, it doesn't cost much more than $10 for like everything. And then if somebody wants to pay extra just to be fucking badass, I'll still keep something like that. But maybe we keep it low. Maybe we keep it between like $5 and $10 for all of it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that, man? I'll probably do a poll on it later, but I really like the idea of giving you guys more of a value add for a comparative amount that you're paying right now. I love that idea, especially because some of you guys do all this research too. We can add these notes together. We can use like a Google share, probably not Google, fuck Google. Maybe something, well, maybe it depends on how easy it is. I'll figure out what to share with, and what tools that Patreon might have in it, or a Patreon or Discord. I got to figure it out. I don't know how all these work yet. Maybe it's a combination of both. But I want it to be cheap. The big thing is I want it to be cheap. And then again, and get more of the money, because why the fuck am I giving all my money to YouTube? It's like a stupid amount. I don't remember what their take is. It's like 30 to 50%. It's a stupid amount. And then you get taxed on it too. So you guys give a bunch of money, but I don't necessarily get a lot of it. And then it's like, why give that fucking money to YouTube? Anyway, when they censor all my shit and demonetize me all the fucking time. So maybe that's it, man. I'm talking myself into this shit. I'll have to put in some work, but I really like this concept. So yeah, morning recap happening every day, Monday through Friday. Market recap in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Political stuff after that. Other value adds before that. If there's any CNBC stuff that goes on, because I watch these things all day. If we have another, Vlad Tenev goes on, or we have, other people, Alex Karps, Elon Musk, whatever. But I mean, Elon Musk never goes on CNBC. But if we have cool things that come up during the day, maybe I do specific videos geared towards those, get an editor, and then we start doing Patreon, we start doing Discord, start communicating with each other in a private setting in real time. Something like what Jeremy LaFarve does, but I'm not going to charge you guys hundreds of fucking dollars and shit. I don't remember what his packages are, but I want to be cheap. I want to be reasonable. I want to actually, I shouldn't say actually help people. He's probably trying to help people too, but I want to provide the best value I can for all kinds of people, not just rich people already. You know what I mean? So I'm starting to love that. No MB. I have gastroparesis. That's what I have, Silas, and some CNS problems. I don't know what CNS is, but I have gastroparesis. And then I tried taking some shots for weight loss, and those shots are horrible for somebody who's got gastroparesis because they slow you down even more. So if I didn't have a bed that inclined, I would have been pretty fucked. But I stopped all that shit, and I just started drinking Supergut. I started being healthy and more active during the day, and it's changing my life, that and the sleep apnea thing. So I think that would be cool, dude. You are near Discord like me, Kevin. Yeah, I just don't want to charge a bunch of money though. I feel like some of these other guys that are bigger are cash grabs, and they're enriching themselves a lot. And I can already enrich myself. You know why? I'm actually really good in investing, and I don't want to disparage the other guys, but I'm better than they are. I don't think they made 600% in 2023, did they? And I might be down this year, but I'm still expecting to double my fucking money this year. So if I do that, does that mean I'm a better investor? I mean, I think it does. My track record since 2019 is awesome. I've done a really great job, and I think I'm only gotten better since that time. I think I'm a way better investor now than I was back then. And again, if I look at, there's this cool moments on Twitter thing that I kind of follow, or I should follow this thing that I created. I don't know why I put RFK in the cool moments on Twitter, but we just go down here, this right here, right? So I think this is cool. And if I get to this by 2025, if my low is $5 to $6 million, then kick ass. It just shows what I've been able to do, right? These are my low balances, not my high. I've already hit 3.6 million, so I'm already around somewhere over here for what my recent high was. And I have not come close to breaking under 1.92. Really, my lowest is probably 2.3. And so, but again, if I close at 5 or 6 million like this for this year, and then I get a more than doubling next year, I think I'm a badass. I'm not perfect, but I think I'm a badass. I think I'm a Warren Buffett. And I know that sounds cocky as fuck, but you got to remember, he made the majority of his wealth later on in life, much later in life, older than I am. So I still have the ability to be a Warren Buffett. It might be too arrogant and cocky to say that I will be one, but fast forward in 15 years and let's see if I'm a billionaire. And if I am, then call me Baby Buffett. Anyway. John Boyle, my wife thinks I have sleep apnea. Might look into this. Dude, it is a retainer. I can find out more about the specific one that it is, but it takes a little adjusting. You get these rubber bands and you slowly get them where they pull your jaw up a little bit more until your snoring stops. And you can just slowly adjust yourself to it. And then before you know it, you're sleeping so much better. And your wife will be like, she'll think you're a different fucking person and actually want you around. Because when you're snoring in your wife's ear all night and waking up 50 times a night, she does not like you a lot. She might love you, but she does not like you for waking her up in the middle of the night. I even have a noisemaker, and I would wake my wife up. She was a saint, and we all sleep better now. So yeah, dude, think about your future. But yeah, guys, I'm excited. I'm excited about this Patreon Discord thing now that I can actually maybe see a vision of how we can make it great. And while at the same time not having to really charge people more money. And I love that idea. So let's make it happen, guys. We're an hour and a half into the day. I feel like I provided a lot of value. If you agree with that, if you could hit the like for the 200 plus people that are still here, it's greatly appreciated. Comment after the video, always appreciated as well. And again, just a huge thank you to all of you guys. We're going to grow together and we're going to get awesome, I think. And it's going to be fun and exciting while it happens. And I don't have my playlist in here. I don't have no playlist today, guys. No playlist. I got to find it. Here, let me do this. I'm just going to move something over here. I don't want to go out like this, man. We got to have music. Got to have some music. But yeah, if you guys got anything else you want to chat about super quick, I'm going to find my playlist. I'm going to find my music. And then we're going to close it out. Let's see. YouTube playlist. Oh, I found it. Nope. Can't do that one. That's actually like a copyrighted one where I have to do that ahead of time. But I am going to do this one. Here's what we're doing, guys. And thank you for all the thanks. Thanks for the thanks. We're going to close out with some Roboto, and I'm going to let this shit play out. So I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. See you guys at 7 for anybody who's going to check out the debate. And pass it on. Share the link, please, on X. Share the shit out. If you share these things out, it's going to grow our audience, and it's going to make us all better because we're going to get even more smarter people in here. And the more smart people we get in chat, the more smart people we get to do research together as a collective, the richer we're all going to be. Anyway, love you guys.
Optimus, the robotic humanoid under development by Elon Musk's Tesla Inc., is sparking concerns around job security.
This is not financial advice, silly.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god.
Sorry about the high volume.
I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Turned up to work and went to start my day. Was barely late, like 9:08. So took my coffee break. Then I got hungry, so I just stopped by the free buffet. But then to my dismay, I heard somebody say, "Attention humans, you have lost, you have not met your quota. Pack your belongings in a box, now it's over." Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. But I'm in management. I work hard every day. I need these benefits, health and 401k. How could they do this shit though? Where will I trade my crypto? I had a second monitor for Twitter. Where will it go? Somebody please stop the bus. I mean not the fuss, but there's lots of us. And now you say you won't pay me to play ping pong because Optimus. I mean who employs a damn humanoid? Some new droid for you to exploit, deploy to destroy your human droid. No lunch breaks, great, get a few deployed. Your time is up, human inferior to me. I'll take it from here, you're relieved of your duty. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. It's okay, human please don't cry. You can always go and become a Twitter thread guy. Make pretty pictures with Midjourney on your new PC. Or make some YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Sucker.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. I mean, I didn't even write this song. I just used ChatGPT because it's way easier. Holy shit. We are so doomed. Robot just stole my job. Robot just stole my job.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top of spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. People love the pump. Yeah. Got them lining up. Wow. See us winning, FOMO in and YOLO by the top. Dream of Lamborghini. Girlfriend in bikini. Front covered Forbes magazine is where you'll see me. Oh, what? How? Price went down. Who will save us now? Felt like a hero. Now the fear is here and it's clear it's deep into zero. Yeah. Hands weak, bags heavy, and I'm ready to forget about already all the hopes and the dreams. So puke your position like mom spaghetti. I'm hungry and got long cash on the ready to just buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top of spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. When there's people crying, that's when I'll be buying. Yeah. When they tell you their investment conviction is dying. Oh no. But the market's dead. Yeah. That's what TV man said. It's time to sell it, walk away and sit in cash instead. Pump, what? Price go up. Guess that's just your luck. Sold at the bottom a lot of you gotta learn how to hold on to whatever money you're gonna earn and not get shaken out when they run the stops. Although it tends to pretend to the dips and the bends. You know the trend is your friend all the way to the end. So I buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top of spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Oh. Buy that fucking dip. Dump it on the top of spit. Buy that shit. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. Buy that fucking dip. Yeah. When it drops, better cop. Let it fucking rip.
I've always been deeply opposed to crypto.
Last year, cryptocurrency funded every kind of dangerous criminal.
But I would not touch crypto in a million years.
Bitcoin is going to zero.
If I was the government, I'd close it down.
People are losing money in scams and huckster flim-flam artists.
These people who own these things should not own your money in any of those. I do think you're an idiot, okay? It's over.
Go fuck yourself. What do you do? Go fuck yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is. What do you do? Is that clear?
What do you do with the Bitcoin besides it just gather value?
Real estate developers in New York City, they're not buying the real estate because they want to live in it.
But like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. Okay? Right? Like, the point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right, I mean, right, but I mean, we can all look Bitcoin sort of as
forever, Laura. People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. 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 Okay?
One bill is raising concerns among Asian American lawmakers, a measure that would bring back an espionage program in the Department of Justice, and that program was previously criticized for targeting foreigners. Melissa?
Emily, how unusual is it for legislation to actually target specific companies? Because it seems like it's been happening specifically with Chinese companies, whether it be TikTok or this bill, which actually names the companies which pharmaceutical companies would have to, limit their dealings with.
Melissa, it's really not common. In fact, by naming some of these companies, it does actually risk potentially violating the law. But these companies have been named in here more